Hello, hello. Good afternoon. Hope you're well. We are well. I am Casey Durango of Go Keto with Casey, where I like to talk about how I lost 97.4 pounds since starting the ketogenic protocol, how you may be able to lose weight, improve your health, and regain control of your life like I did. Today is a hot day here in the South. It'll be 95 and pretty humid, but that's what we expect. I know some parts of the country are really having weird weather. If someone can give me a indication that you can see and hear me, I would really appreciate it. There goes Cuckoo, just a few seconds late. Okay, hey Ange, can you hear me and see me? Technology. I've had weird things happen this week with technology. Just bizarre. Yes. Okay. Great. So first things first. I always get asked, so I'm trying to remember to say, what am I drinking? Hashtag Casey's Pink Drink. Tall tumbler full of ice, mostly full of diet tonic water, a splash of diet cranberry juice, and a squeeze of lime. It's very refreshing. All right, so let's get this to a point where I can see what's going on. So I'm going to say something first, and then we're going to move on to questions. The ketogenic protocol is one whereby you reduce your carbohydrate intake to a level where your liver stops pumping out glucose at a furious rate. Our bodies switch over after that happens from burning glucose or sugar for fuel to burning ketones or fat for fuel, thereby taking advantage of our onboard stores. We burn body fat. It's the ideal system. How do you do that? For essentially everybody, pretty much everybody. This will happen if you keep your carbohydrate intake to 20 grams or fewer a day. That's total carbs, not net. Net carbs just means more carbs. If it's not on the famous page 4, link below, don't eat it. Don't eat if you're not hungry, and stop when you're satiated. Those last two parts can be the most challenging for some of us. That's it. Now, I am happy to share my experience. I am not a medical provider. I am not a researcher. I'm just someone who's lived this. I was morbidly obese for 30 years. At my blog, you can see some of my previous photographs. I was morbidly obese from my mid-20s to my mid-50s. And I tried just about, like many of you, everything. This worked. And I eat delicious food. So I can share with you my experience and my understanding of why it works and how it works. So take that with a grain of salt. Speaking of salt, sodium depletion can be what causes the so-called keto flu. It's not carbohydrate withdrawal. It's sometimes our sodium is a little bit depleted. So if you don't have sodium sensitive hypertension, take a grain of salt. All right, let me turn to comments. I wish this was more set up like Crowdcast, which is where I do patron-only live streams, and the Durham Support Group meeting with Dr. Eric Westman. We do that on Crowdcast, where people can actually type in questions on a tab and they are retained so that you can, instead of them zipping back. Okay, anyway, that said, Denise Martinez, good morning, good morning, good morning. Frankie A says hello from South Jersey. And Esme Waterex, hi from Germany. Hi from Germany. One of my favorite people, Kimmy, is a patron. And she's fantastic. And she posted photographs of herself in a beautiful dress on our private hidden patron, Go Keto with Casey patrons Facebook group. I'm so proud of her. Kathy Collins, good afternoon from Ontario, Canada. Casey, I love your motivation and content. Thank you. Not that I have all the answers, but be sure to ask a question. Rebecca Craig, hi from New Zealand. Also a patron. I do want to thank patrons because they're fantastic. Shayla, hey Shayla. Shayla, if you are interested, please share with the group your recent accomplishments. Dave S. Casey, thanks for all you do. Thanks, Dave. And Andrielle, hello for Illinois. Lily Gordon, morning. 903 Riz, good morning from Goodyear, Arizona. Signed, Angela. Olive Vanderwalle, good morning from Nebraska. Kathleen Sturgis, hi Casey from Staten Island. Y'all are everywhere. New Zealand, Germany, Canada, Jersey. Good morning from Iowa. Okay, so I'll keep trying to monitor. Usually, I try to have a topic and talk into the camera about that topic, but I couldn't think of one. I mean, I've done the last snippet I did was number 960. These are morning videos I do for patrons, and it was 960. So on Patreon, I have a Patreon topic suggestion spreadsheet that patrons can write suggestions because 960, I ran out of stuff. Oh, Candace Cooper, welcome to the Baconators. Candace, thank you. She's a member of the club. Svaria D writes, when did this start? I thought this started at noon. It is noon, Eastern Daylight Time. Kathy Collins writes, is there a meat that you don't eat? Can't think of organ meats. Not sure how to cook. Okay. No. Well, I haven't eaten every bit of animal flesh. I've never had alligator. I've never had ostrich. Not because I wouldn't, I just haven't. So we have a pretty good cycle of foods. And I do occasionally post food videos, although I'm not a big fan. I don't think we should concentrate on the food. But I just take pictures of food and then make a video. And I post them on my blog as well. And sometimes on Instagram. But we have a rotation of types of beef, ground beef, in which we'll have hamburger patties or I'll make meatloaf. I'm not a bragger, but this is the best meatloaf recipe ever. It's so delicious. So it's one of our favorite meals. Of course, steak. We'll have ribeye as our preferred steak. Pork in all sorts of forms, pork chops, pork sausage, pork belly, which we cook in many different ways. Poultry. We like, chicken is a staple, but I like turkey. I like duck. We don't have it very often, but I do like it. Lamb. And organ meats are very nutritious. As a matter of fact, my lovely maid, he lets me text him a shopping list. And then he does the grocery shopping for me, which, I can never leave him just for that. If he'll do the grocery shopping, then I'm good. Plus, he wipes down the kitchen every day. And so he brought back several packages of beef liver, which are so easy to prepare. I did a video on that, so I won't go into that now. But organ meats from any animal, are full of nutrition. So, I used to not be able to stand beef liver. And then I got to the point where I would kind of tolerate it once every 2 years. And then I started to actually like it. And now I actually want it. So tastes change. Okay. Oh yeah, Dave S. Hello from somewhat smoky California. Poor California. Y'all need some rain, put out those fires, replenish the Colorado River. That was Jack. Ange must have written something. Ange, you struggling a bit? Ange, I'm getting back on track today, leaving a camping trip early and getting myself back to it. Joni Sanchez. Hi, Casey. It's Joni Sanchez from Minnesota. Solomon Asari. Hi from Accra, Ghana. Okay, I'm going to silence this hold, please. Sorry about that. Jack appropriately barked because someone has come to our front door unexpectedly. So sorry about that. From Ghana. That's great. And Frankie A says, Ange, we've all been there. Don't quit. You know it works. Christina Polischik. Yay, got back from my walk just in time. Hot and humid out there in Pittsburgh. And I've told you before, I know so many people from Pittsburgh. And Amy Berger says for a long time she wanted to move to Pittsburgh. She's not from there. But people love Pittsburgh. Okay, Andrea L. writes, started at 240 in March. Weight today, 205. Blood pressure reversed my prediabetes and high blood pressure. Congratulations, a round of applause. Can I do an emoji that does can I do that? Custom emojis? I just want to do I don't know. I'm going to do that one. I'm going to do a winky. Will it take it? Maybe it will. We'll see. I don't know that it did. I think it did not. Okay. Let me get back to I probably should not have opened this thing up. I want to close it. Oh dear. Shouldn't have done that. All right. And next time, I'll know. Now I've really jacked this up. Okay. Amy went to Carnegie Mellon University out there in Pittsburgh. Yay, Andrea. Congratulations. Dang it. Let me see if I can hit this. No, it won't let me make that small. Okay, there we go. I'm going to see Amy next week. We try to see each other regularly. And then, of course, we have Wednesday Wine Day together on Crowdcast, third Wednesday of every month. She's a hoot. Nancy Hansen writes, it's hot here today, over 100, Marietta, Georgia. No, excuse me, Marietta, California. I always wanted to be Georgia. But it is temporary. Thanks for your inspiration. And Davis, congrats to all the people that have had success. So, Dave, do you want to share what your situation is? You don't have to. So, privacy is intact. Okay, someone has asked a question. Someone asked, okay, I'm rolling back upwards. Karen Komoski, down 10 pounds in 6 weeks, feels so much improvement. Should I be drinking salted water or taking electrolytes? I hear about Redmond's salt, but what about iodine? That's a question that's come up about the iodine, and it's actually come up during support group meetings once or twice, and Dr. Westman, and I moderate the meetings with him, says, we don't know. For those who don't know, table salt has iodine in it, which is very important. Iodine is very important. But when you're having not table salt, like rock salt, Himalayan pink salt or whatever, there's no iodine in it. There are other trace minerals. So, but to your question, should you be drinking salted water? I would say not unless you're having symptoms. The reason you want kind of increased sodium is if you're having symptoms. If you're having, muscle cramps or lightheadedness or something. I don't, as a rule. I take magnesium, slow release magnesium, because I have always been prone to leg cramps, and it got worse on keto. It's the only thing that got worse. Judy Porterfield, she's a patron and a member of the club. 100 heat index here in Michigan. Ugh. Candace Cooper, hi Casey, I've been keto for 3 years. Oh, wow, 315 to 243. Thought I was it right, but we do need to eat veg with every meal. But do we need? No, I don't. I rarely eat vegetables. Macronutrients, fat, protein, carbohydrate. They're all three of those things in essentially anything we eat, but mostly plant products are the carbohydrate, and mostly meat products are the fat and protein, assuming you eat the fat that comes with the protein. Of those three macronutrients, only 2 are essential, meaning we must consume them to get the amino acids and everything else that we need for our bodies to in cell function and everything. Carbohydrate, vegetable, plants, fruit, everything, wheat, grain, carbohydrate, not essential. Our bodies can make glucose as it needs it through the process called gluconeogenesis in the liver and the kidney. So, no, you don't need vegetables. Shantae Copeland, what are your thoughts on the PSMF? I have no idea what that is. If I knew, I forgot. Gray's Custom Trim. Hey, congrats, Karen. You don't need to take supplements if you are feeling fine. You just want to increase sodium, etc. if you're feeling headaches, etc. Thank you. You guys, some of you pros here really know the answers. Yeah. So, for instance, I don't treat for symptoms I don't have, right? I don't take an antibiotic unless I have an infection and I need an antibiotic. I don't take naproxen sodium if I don't have a headache, right? So I don't treat for symptoms I don't have. Liz Alley, hey Liz, hello from Wisconsin, 21 days and 5 pounds down. Wonderful. Karoo Blue, gosh, You have happy hens. Look at all that eggs. Do you share? I'll tell you what, we're actually a little low. Production's down just a little bit. But yeah, we do have happy hens. We have backyard chickens. And one of them has been broody. We're hoping that today she stops being broody. But I will sell them to a couple of neighborhood people. But we go through a lot of eggs. I mean, the other day between us and the animals, we ate 11 eggs. So we go through a lot. I routinely have 3 large eggs that I scramble. I microwave them in a bowl, and I found the way that they turn out perfectly for me. I made a video about that too. Takes no time. So I usually have 3 a day. And they're very filling. They are appetite busters. Oh my goodness. Super chat. Did I see a super chat? Is that you, Lori? Lori, to celebrate oh my gosh, $61 super chat. To celebrate the 61 pounds I'm down now, thanks to your encouragement and your no nonsense thoughts about everything keto, had my eggs in salsa this morning. Good deal. I'm glad we had Lori as a patron. Owned by Super Chat, and I'm not trying to shill. Super Chat is something where if you do a Super Chat, the little dollar symbol, it'll pin your question to the top. Lori is very great, and she's a patron, and during a group session, the topic came up, I'm trying to be very, 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 strict, but dadgummit, sometimes I just like to have breakfast with my husband, and we have eggs and salsa. I was like, go ahead and have the eggs and salsa. We are not machines. And she has great success. She's lost 61 pounds, so she should keep doing whatever she's doing. Kara Z writes, I sometimes add a seaweed snack sheet to my omelets to increase iodine, but don't know if that's needed. Like I said, Dr. Westman said, we don't know. He's all about show me the tests, the trials, the randomized controlled trials for 6 months with 60 people or more. Susan Rapp writes, down 100 pounds since May of 2020, keto and daily 2024. Feel amazing. That's great. Dave S. writes, Casey, I've lost 110 pounds in the past, prepackaged foods, gained it all back, and then some. Keto seems to work for me long term. It certainly has worked for me. Question comes up, or we will be told by people who should know better that it's not sustainable. We'll be told that by medical doctors. Oh, wow, you've lost 32 pounds. That's great. Oh my gosh, your A1C is lower. How have you done it? I did the keto diet. Oh, well, that's great, but it's not sustainable. Dude, would you tell that to someone who quit smoking and their emphysema and their CPOD? No. Yeah, CPOD, not PCOS. CPOD resolved? Oh, that's great you did that, but you'll never be able to lay off the cigarettes forever. No, of course you can. And I've been doing this for now 7.5 years, over 7.5 years. So that is fantastic. Okay. Okay, I'm looking. Okay, Lily Gordon writes, my vitamin D was low, and with keto, it increased to normal with food. Sfaria writes, how can I eat eggs if I don't like egg flavor or texture? I don't like hard-boiled eggs or scrambled eggs or anything in between. Don't eat eggs. You don't have to eat eggs. There's a billion alternatives. Not at all. Have steak for breakfast. Have a pork chop. You don't have to have eggs. I mean, eggs are great. They're, a nice little package of protein and fat. But some people just don't care for eggs. I myself, well, there's not much I don't care for. I like everything pretty much. Gray's Custom Trim. Yes, Dave, the best thing you can do is to avoid the prepackaged foods. The real food is always better for you. I'm wondering if Dave, when maybe was on a weight loss, a diet prepackaged foods, and the thing about that, see, I would have a problem with like Jenny Craig or one of these others, Nutrisystem. They send you food. Well, Doesn't that kind of give you a mindset of, well, it's all here. They sent it to me. I've paid for it. I should eat it, whether you're hungry or not. Plus that food, I would be hungry. Hey, Terry. And Gray's Custom Trim, I always ask you if you want to share your story. It's pretty impressive. Kathy Collins, Andrea, I found pickle juice helped my leg cramps. Yes, a lot of people swear by pickle juice, by yellow mustard. There's something about the acetic acid. Frankie, please repeat the basics on HDL, LDL, VDL. Thanks. Okay. Here's the deal. LDL, don't worry about it. What you want, because doctors will quote us overall cholesterol number, meaningless. There are at least 5 factors to cholesterol, right? So it's not like when they get the cholesterol and say, oh, your cholesterol is 312, like someone's gone in and counted 312 particles of cholesterol. No, it's a mathematical calculation. Here's what you want. 2 of the 5, at least 5 components of cholesterol are triglyceride and HDL, high density lipoprotein. The so-called good cholesterol, HDL, and triglyceride, which is also a good cholesterol. They're all good. They all serve a function. Triglyceride tends to be inflammatory. HDL tends to be anti-inflammatory. You want both of those things. Sometimes you need a little inflammation to put out little tiny fires in our body. So think of the triglyceride as a campfire. Nice, manageable. You cook your food, it keeps your feet warm. What you don't want is a forest fire. Sorry, Californians. You don't want a forest fire. You want a little inflammation. You want a little anti-inflammation. You want it to be balanced. So what you would like to see is your triglyceride number and your HDL number be the same number. So if your triglyceride is 72 and your HDL is 72, fantastic. If there are different ranges that people talk about, but it's considered okay, not optimal, but okay if your triglyceride is 1.5 times your HDL. So let's figure out how we would do that. Okay, so your triglyceride is 120 and 60, and your HDL is 90. That would be a 1.5 to 1 ratio. You want 1 to 1. Mine, last time it was checked, and what you really want is the HDL to be higher. My triglyceride, I think, was 46 or 48 or something. My HDL was 125. Outrageous. That's even better. I think that's what it was. I have to go back and look. It was outrageous. Okay. Davis, bacon sprinkled with bacon bits instead of eggs. Yes, absolutely. My doctor told me to keep up the keto as it was working for me. More and more doctors are saying, whatever you're doing, keep it up, even if they don't really believe in it. Michelle SE, quick question. How do I keep myself from overeating after having keto diet you have to stop eating so much? That sounds like smart aleck. This is not an involuntary action. Lifting fork to mouth, that is a behavior, and we have to get in front of it. The best way to do it is before you think you might be in a situation where you're tempted to do it. Right? You have to just not eat so much. I eat much less than I did a year ago. Well, I eat less than I did a year ago. I eat much less than I did 3 years ago. Because I need less. Because I'm older. I'm smaller. My body chemistry is pumping along pretty well. Don't eat if you're not hungry. Okay, rats. Did I not bring one? Oh, yeah, I did. Shameless Commerce Division. Apologies to the car talk guys. This is a kitchen magnet. Are you here out of hunger or out of habit? We eat habitually sometimes, and we need to stop that habit. Just as we created the habit, we can break the habit. And if hunger's not the problem, food is not the answer. And Go Keto with Casey 12-month record book, which you can get at my blog. It's got stuff in it. It's just habit trackers and mood trackers and little diary journal. You can get the same thing, perfect bound, at Amazon. You'll get it faster and for a couple of dollars cheaper at Amazon. What was the other thing? Oh, Steel Go Keto with Casey water bottle and things like that. And my cups and shirts. This is Go Keto with Casey. You can see those on the Teespring site below this video. And something I didn't even know I needed. I didn't know it existed, and now I really like it. Pop sockets. You can get these at my blog. Food is not the boss of me. Okay, there you go. And another shout out to patrons. I have a private patron-only support group, and members, depending on the pledge level, get 20 pre-recorded video snippets every weekday morning and a handful of patron-only live streams on Crowdcast, a handful of patron-only video group sessions on Zoom. I no longer am taking new one-on-one level pledges because I'm booked. So there you go. There's the commercial. Lily Gordon writes, I was once on Jenny Craig and ate all the weekly prepackaged food in 2 days. See, that would be me. Whew. Okay, Carissa Jenner asks, do you, I don't do, I don't like that OMAD thing. Do you eat one meal a day most days still? Do you find since losing a lot of fat, you are hungry more often? No, and no, and no, and no. I eat when I'm hungry. Sometimes that's 4 times a day. Most days it's not. I don't pay attention to the clock. I don't believe in time restricted eating. Frankly, there are certain things I just don't, I'm not all about. I don't believe in arbitrarily not eating if I'm actually hungry any more than I should arbitrarily eat just because it's breakfast time. And no, I'm not hungry all the time. I'm peckish. I'm peckish right now. But that's a different thing. And I kind of like the feeling of being a little bit light. Okay, Christina Polishchik, you need to realize keto is firstly a way of eating, not a diet. It is a diet. Diet is a noun as well as a verb. I am not dieting. I follow the ketogenic diet. I would follow the kosher diet if that's what I did. I wouldn't say kosher way of eating. It's a kosher diet. People say vegetarian diet, vegan diet. It's a keto diet. Verb and noun. I follow the noun. I do not participate in the verb. Yeah, the thing about keto is you're not hungry all the time. B. Gray writes, there are other reasons besides weight loss to do keto, like pain control. I lost maybe 12 pounds, didn't have much to lose, but I've avoided hip replacement surgery, mostly pain-free. That's the uncelebrated thing about keto. People coming off of medications they've been on for 20 years. Annie Ake writes, I have a terrible relationship with food, even though I wasn't very overweight. Doing the protocol because of unique liver disease, PBC. It's an autoimmune disease. I lost 25 pounds accidentally. Great. That is fantastic. And I am going to start to wind this up. I want to remind you of Dr. Westman Durham support group meeting. Tuesday, a week from Tuesday. You can find my schedule and all that stuff at my blog. And I've started posting former meetings, the previous meetings, at my blog as well. And they're free. And there's a lot of good information. They're long. They're about an hour and a half each. Caru Blue, I've been doing 1 meal a day, and it slowed down my vanity weight loss. 3 kilograms to go. Fantastic. Just so many great stories, and, we might be tempted to run and tell everybody we know about it and really want them to do it, but everyone has to get there on their own. I don't bring it up unless someone asks me in my, day-to-day life. But when people start to see your success, that's when you start impacting. And there are so many stories of people influencing other people, and it's wonderful. Nancy Hansen, keto works for me like nothing else will. And Carissa Jenner, thanks, Casey. We love your encouragement. Thank you. I appreciate you allowing me to be part of your day. I'm privileged to do what I do, And I am aware of that. Very, very aware and very grateful. So keep your carbs 20 grams or fewer a day, total not net. If it's not on page 4, link below. Don't eat it. Don't eat it if you're not hungry. Stop when you're satiated. And even if you are hungry, you don't need to panic. This is not like when you're a sugar burner and your brain is screaming at you to get more food. To get more glucose is what it's wanting. When you're not burning glucose, your brain's not screaming at you to get more because it's burning fat, of which all of us have enough. Even my trim husband is a fat burner. He's very low percent body fat, but he's got he's got tens of thousands of calories of energy on board. All right, Judy Porterfield, it's worth the health benefits alone. Weight loss is a bonus. Absolutely. So thank you. Stay safe. Stay cool if you're blistering hot. Stay dry if you're underwater. Stay safe. And believe me, if I can do this, you can do this. I absolutely promise. I should have shown you my mug that has lay off the carbs and lay off the excuses. And on the back is my silly face saying, if I can do this, you can do this. Okay. Bye. Thanks a lot, guys. See you next time.